I'm here at Startup Fest 2025 in Montreal, Canada, and I had a chance to speak with Lise Birikundavyi. She's a partner at BKR Capital that invests specifically in Black-led companies. She informed me right when we started that the Black population in Canada is about 4%, but they only get invested in the venture way at about 1%. So the question is, what's going on? We unpack that. We unpack how AI innovations are now really happening in the boring and probably money-making industries, and how Quebec's new rules are quietly reshaping the startups that are being built. Have a listen and tell me what you think.
What's your pitch?
What's my pitch?
What's your pitch?
Okay. So I'm the co-founder and managing partner of BKR Capital. We invest in Black-led startups. Mm-hmm. So basically, we're looking at bridging the gap for underrepresented founders, but really seeking alpha where others overlook it.
Okay.
We have started in 2021, looked at over 1,600 decks, invested in 15 companies from coast to coast in Canada.
Okay.
So we're pan-Canadian. We have an office in Toronto, in Montreal, and we have colleagues that are based in Western Canada. Yeah. So our eyes are everywhere. We've seen pitch decks from, PI, Labrador, Nunavut, really looking at finding those gems that are overlooked by most of the ecosystem,
right?
And showcasing that we can make as much or more financial returns. We're sector agnostic, investing pre-seed and seed mainly. And
average check size?
Average check size, right now our average holding is between 500K and 1 million per company. So we were a pretty small fund, 22 million. We're raising right now our second fund.
Wow.
We see ourselves as partners for growth. So we're there for our portfolio companies, at all times to really try to see them succeed.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. Can I ask a dumb question?
Yeah.
Like, how do you define a Black-led startup? Is it like 100% of the founding team is Black? Is there like a proportionality, at least more than 50%? Is there a management team? Like, how do you define that, just for my edification?
It's not a dumb question. It's actually a very important one. So we don't define what Black means. So it's self-identification as being Black. And usually people will not self-identify if they're not.
Yes.
And
if you blend into that background, I don't count, clearly. Because I blend into that.
If you self-identify, we won't tell you what you are and what you're not. But
okay, but anyway,
at least 25% of the management team, the C-suite, the founders, or the cap table have to self-identify as part of the Black community.
And then can you just help me understand what, like you said, there I don't know the word what was it, overlooked? What was
overlooked, it? Underestimated.
Underestimated. Mm-hmm. What does that actually look like? Can you tell me what that means? It's like you hear this, I've heard this many times. Forgive me for not knowing the Black entrepreneurship journey, but certainly, I know, at least from my readings and talkings on the women's thing, women have to get more traction, prove more to get the same valuation, or you have to go further, much further to get the same thing a straight white man would get, for example.
Yeah.
Is that how it shows up?
Absolutely, it's the same. It's never enough.
So if you're a Black woman, you're double fucked? Is that basically how it works? If you're a Black woman, yeah?
That's basically it.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
100%. So when we look at the numbers in Canada, only 0.8% of venture dollars goes to Black founders, when they account for about 4 to 5% of the entrepreneurial population.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And the numbers are pretty similar in the US as well.
Yeah.
So imagine being a Black woman, and the intersection of both is like 0.34%.
It's crazy.
It's insane. No, the intersection of both is not a place you want to be in, especially if you're fundraising.
Yeah.
And we see people finding different types of solutions to basically overcome it, but we are underestimated in every sense of the word. We basically have to do so much more. If we're looking at the numbers in Canada, 0.8% of VC dollars have been invested in Black founders, when they account for between 4 to 5% of the entrepreneurial population.
Yeah.
And the numbers are pretty similar. The percentage is pretty similar in the US.
Yeah.
For women, it's a little bit below 0.3%. Right. So it's not beautiful.
No.
And when you think of our Canadian ecosystem and the education, we have one of the best education system in the world, right?
Yeah.
So there's something to be said about people who have been highly educated, who are working on innovative solutions, but I can't contribute to solving the problems that affect us all.
Yeah.
And for us as an investor, when you think of it, like basic financial theory, go look for the arbitrage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go look where nobody else is looking.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing. It's contrarian thinking. We're basically seeing entrepreneurs, seeing them for who they are.
Right.
And understanding what they're looking at building.
Yeah.
And this excites us. We're investing in top tier entrepreneurs.
That's cool.
And it's been incredible the amount of growth that we've seen in our portfolio companies.
Good.
And sometimes what is really, really amazing is that you have people with all the credentials, you have people who have done so much, and everybody's looking at them and hesitating. So you need to have basically that fund that sort of say, okay, well, I'm leading. I have a smallest check here,
Yeah,
but I will lead and do the due diligence. Then you're able to bring a lot of people around you to support them. But it's been an amazing ride, and we're really proving our thesis because,
you're raising another fund.
That too, yeah.
So I'd love to dive deeper in this, but we only have a certain amount of time. So
Okay.
I would love to hear your thoughts. So you're from Montreal, you live in Toronto, you still have an office in Montreal, you pay attention to this ecosystem. And we're at Startup Fest, it's Montreal, summer 2025. Are there ecosystem patterns in terms of the kinds of entrepreneurs you're seeing, in terms of what this particular ecosystem is bending towards or away from in the last year or two? Like, is there anything that's catching your eye? Like, oh, now everything's industrial now, or nobody's talking about bots, or I don't know. Is there anything you're seeing in any of those things?
Well, now we're seeing a lot less of, I guess, Web3 or NFTs that we're seeing.
Yeah.
Thank God, for real.
Yeah.
But a lot more of AI.
Yes.
But what is really interesting is that we're seeing a lot more workflow automation using AI in more niche industries, AI agents as well. We're seeing that quite a bit here in Quebec. And it's been interesting for us to see people innovate in more boring industries.
Yeah.
Because we feel that those companies will probably be able to stay efficient for quite a long time.
Right.
So that's something we've seen.
Is that a Montreal, Quebec thing? Like
we're seeing quite a bit in Montreal. Yeah.
What do you say? When you say boring, is just like using AI to solve companies with money problems, like actual real businesses, and we're doing B to deep B, like it's stuff in the okay.
No, for example, maybe in industries that are less automated.
Yeah.
In the construction industry, or with HVAC, or basically like improving workflow using tools that they are able to use. So we're seeing quite a bit of that, even in the automobile industry.
Yes.
So basically, people being in environments where they're like, you know what, I could bring in tech and make it so much more efficient. And nobody's actually really paying that much attention, to their knowledge about basically this workflow. And adoption is super hard, but I know how I can make people actually use my product. So we're seeing that more and more.
Yes.
And that's really interesting to us.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're seeing people trying to bridge the gap for, needs that are specific to minority communities, around, for example, hair care. We're seeing that quite a bit. We're seeing around financial services, which is also super exciting because it's basically around services that are useful for everyone, but with that touch that basically services better immigrants.
Yeah.
Especially around remittances, for example.
Yeah.
So we're seeing that quite a bit, and this is exciting.
Has anything in I guess the last question, so because I know you have to run, is how are you looking at the rest of, at least this 2025? How are you looking at the rest of the year? Are you, aside from raising money, I get it, and I get that there's the broader tech trends of agents and AI, all the things. What are you looking out for in the Quebec ecosystem that you're keeping an eye on because you think there might be a there? Is there anything that's catching your eye in terms of where I know that we're mid figuring out trade war stuff, so that kind of doesn't help.
Big one,
but
that is a big one that's not necessarily particular to Quebec.
Or just this ecosystem.
But with respect to this ecosystem in particular, I'm trying to have an understanding of, there's a law 25 that also came into effect. There's a lot of changes from a regulatory perspective here. So trying to have an understanding of...
Is that the English language one, or is that...
and also, so there's the English language one, but there's also the one around, compliance around data.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes.
Trying to have an understanding of what are the opportunities that are coming out of that.
Right.
Or what is the impact that it has on some company if they're trying to move out of Quebec because of that. So we're just following a little bit what's happening, even from a...
Is that stricter in Quebec than anywhere else? So it's kind of like like a GDPR style animal for Canada.
Yeah. I think they took the California one that they adapted.
CEO, whatever. whatever it's called.
I trust you.
Yeah.
But it's the one from
Yeah.
California
Yes.
that's also adapted from the one from the GDPR.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit stricter here in Quebec. So really trying to have an understanding of the evolution of the regulatory environment
Fascinating.
and the language also environment. It's it's a bit of a pity because though there's a lot of entrepreneurs coming from all over the world that decide to choose Quebec as a home, but if it becomes a bit harder for them to operate, then we're sort of seeing that there might be some shifts in the future as well as to where they're located. But there's Quebec is one of our biggest pipeline. We see so much talent. People are really building here.
Yeah.
So we are optimistic, looking to see how everything would evolve. We've seen quite also a number of new cybersecurity companies as well coming from here.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we're keeping an eye on the diversity of the pipeline from our lens. We've seen an evolution because in 2020 there's been quite an amount of money that has been put in accelerator programs to support Black entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So we're seeing the ecosystem getting strengthened and getting stronger and stronger. So basically, we are just excited by the increase in deal flow.
That's cool.
And the diversity of it as well.
So we'll talk in a year. It's going to be totally different. You'll have twice the deal flow, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Lise, if people want to check out your fund, where do they go on the internet?
On bkrcapital.ca.
There you go.
Or they look out for me on LinkedIn.
That's true.
I try to answer all of my messages.
Awesome. Thanks for taking the time. Really appreciate you making the time today.
Thank you for having me.
See you soon.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my newsletter in the description below, and see you next time.